Stand and say, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we love you. We thank you so much for this opportunity and the privilege to come together tonight, Lord, to discuss the needs and circumstances in our town, Lord. We just want to honor and glorify you in everything that we do and say here tonight. We ask now for your Spirit to come and be present here with us, and we thank you so much for all of the blessings and the things that you've given us. Amen.
Amen. I call the meeting to order.
Councilman Jesse Ritchie.
Here.
Councilman Dibble. Councilman Chad Pass.
Yes.
Councilman Monty Moore. Here. Councilman Alex Baldwin.
Here.
Mayor James Sullivan.
Here. Has everybody had time to look over the reading of the April 9th, 2026 minutes? Do we have a motion to accept as written?
A motion to accept.
Do we have a second?
I second.
Any discussion?
Business coming.
Councilman Jesse Ritchie.
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass.
Yes.
Councilwoman Monica Moore, sorry. And Councilman Alex Baldwin.
Yes.
Okay, Mayor's report to the council. In your package, you're gonna find a save the date for a seminar. There's gonna be, I think, 4 different locations. You can get, 4 hours of, training there. Look and see if, any of those locations you'd like to go. I figured that probably the easiest one to go to would probably be Athens. Others is in Vestavia Hills and then further away. So you can let Miranda know on that.
These would go toward our hours.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, the next on here would be the report from the park board.
The only thing, couple things that I want to mention is, I think everybody should have a copy of, this list of rules. A couple months ago, the mayor, mentioned about, putting up a new sign with the rules and sort of tasked the park board with that. This is just an old list that we found to kind of go off of. And the park board has looked at this, and we're gonna continue to look at it and tweak, things and make some changes, but I just wanted to show the council this and just open that up for discussion, if anybody has any input or anything. The way that the park board, I guess, discussed it is, this is just really general. I think what we would like to do, I think what the mayor was wanting to do is have something put on a sign, which a lot of this could be put on a sign, and be displayed, but I think what we would like to do is have just general park rules, no tobacco, no motorized vehicles on the track and stuff like that. And then sort of separate guidelines for like softball and baseball, and have different things like, I don't think it's on here, but there was like something with this, that the coaches used to sign, and it was about, make sure the lights turned off, don't use the lights if you don't have to, things like that. So that's kind of what we're thinking, is separating that, rules to put on a sign, and then having separate guidelines that softball and baseball and football can go by too. So we're looking at that.
And to reiterate what he said there, the reason we did have them posted over there, and somebody walked off with rules. But one of our police officers stopped somebody up there one day for riding on the track, and first thing they said was, "Didn't see no rules." I mean, you know, you should know, but you don't. But, and that's what prompted, that we do need to get the rules back up.
Yeah, I think it's
Over
over
there.
there. But I just wanted to present this, we don't have to, do anything with it, just everybody, when you get a chance, look at that, if you have any input, you let me or the mayor know, and we'll be glad to make those adjustments. The only other thing that we discussed very lengthy in our, meeting last night was, the park board is very, Justin's not here, he had something going on, but the park board is, ready and fired up for this, new park thing. You know, there's a lot of discussion about how we're gonna do it and what the plan is, and I keep telling them, you know, it's just a waiting game for now, you know. But I just felt like that took up a lot of, our time last night, was just a lot of intricate details about input that they have about how they would like to see things done. So and they're really fired up to help, so.
Well, you know, like you said, unfortunately, you know, like you told them, it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
We should have never mentioned it till we had some funds secured.
Yeah.
But,
Cause
you know,
they are really pressuring me on an answer about this, and I keep telling them it's just, you know, it's just a waiting game, unfortunately.
Well, we had the letters were real good.
Yeah.
That we got, that went a long ways with this grant. You know, and the shutdown of the government didn't help, you know all
Oh, yeah.
the things, but, you know, and they don't understand, the government don't work on their time schedule.
Mhm.
They work on their own. And even when they say, okay, you're funded, you're gonna get it, it may be 6 months before we can even spend anything, you know,
Mhm.
so, we'll get there.
Yeah, and that's what I keep trying to tell them, is it's, you know, I think we're gonna get there, it's just, we just have to, be patient, so.
Okay.
But that's the only thing that I had on the park board.
Okay, the next thing on there was the revisions grant, the last revision's gone in. They're working on that. Summer, is that his name, Summer?
Sawyer.
Sawyer, I wanna call him Summer, said he felt like this would be the last, but, you know, you never know, they may come back and want something else, but we was able to answer the questions.
What was new this time?
Steve had to go in there and mark out where the sewer and water and all this was around the ball fields, power lines, all that kind of stuff. So, I'm sure they'll probably have some more questions. Okay, on the, next item is, utility department. I had a citizen ask about a light to be put over on Pass Road in the curve on Pass Road. Said it was dark. I talked to Steve about it, but also, our company had also sent us a letter stating that when they upgraded to LED lights in the town, they didn't do this one right across the street over here. So I talked to Steve about it, asking him, is that something, you know, we need to get in touch with him? And Steve said, well, since we've got all the lighting on front of the building now, he said he didn't really think that one was necessary. So we got to talking and decided, well, bring it before the council if they approve to not do this one and just put this one up over here on Pass Road. So what's your thought, y'all's thoughts on that?
It is a dark road at night, it's never, okay with that.
Somebody put that in the form of a motion?
I'll say.
Okay, any other
Is that
discussion?
really right by your house?
I don't live on Pass Road, but
Oh, that's right.
I almost would wanna go.
Where at on Pass Road are they talking about?
Right below Richard's house.
What, did
You
you
go-
talk to Richard about this?
He's the one that brought it to the
Okay.
council.
Well, you know how
Yeah.
Richard is.
It actually
I
be on,
do, and there's others
Everybody get
up
this
there
idea?
right there.
Yeah.
it actually be on the
pole right there between,
Adams.
Tracy's.
I would just
and-
hate for him to let it be asleep and.
Tracy's and Brownie's old house, right there in that, in that
Cause then I
road.
would complain. But yeah, if he's, I mean, that'd be close to the park too, I mean, like the ball fields, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got two on this end, where the ball, toward Five Points Road. You've got one up there close to the road, and then you got another one down here, and then from that point all the way down to past, I guess, where Chad's mother lives, there's not enough until there. So there's a big gap, and felt like the best place to put it was right there where that curve is, where the people that's coming up through there running 50 miles an hour can see the curve.
The pole that it's gonna be on, is that on the same side of the road as Richard
Yes.
and the houses there?
Yes.
Okay. And the light will be pointing more down toward the street, I'm sure.
Yeah, it goes on an arm, kinda like this one out here, and it's pointing down.
Actually, the pole, it ain't gonna be at Richard's house, it'll be one pole down, because that's more in the curve
Okay.
than what
Yeah.
his.
But he said if they couldn't put it on that pole, he would be fine with it. Just where we could put one, would, light that road up. Alright, we got a motion, do we have a second?
Yeah, I see.
Or any other discussion? Okay.
Councilman Jason Grigsby?
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass?
I'm gonna hold my vote on the light on Pass Road till I talk to more on Pass Road.
Okay.
I don't see a problem with it, but I ain't right there,
So you wanna abstain? Or you?
I guess.
In that case, I'm gonna abstain too, cause I know how it can be when one person tries to get something.
Again, I don't see a problem with it, but
Other people need to be, maybe asked to, maybe?
Well, I mean, I can find out,
Is it gonna
I'm
be on
trying
somebody's
to,
property, like whose land is, who's
well,
gonna
it'll
have
be
the
on,
property?
It's on the right of way.
It's on
Scotty's
right.
place there, wouldn't it?
Do it.
Does it be on Scotty's place or right there on the line?
Yeah, it's on the line, right between Tracy's and Scott's. He's actually got one on that pole that's pointing back toward the yard or his
Yeah, his
house.
house. Yeah.
But that ain't gonna do the road any good, this needs to be on the arm, a long arm going toward the street. Which, now they could be, they are one, as James said, there's one, two on this end of Pass Road, there could be one added in, past that, there around, Baker's, there, Horton Lane.
mhm.
That's, and see, there is one at the end of 231
Yeah.
Pass Road.
Whose idea was it to put it in that particular location? Is that like the best location?
Well, in looking at the road, yes, that's probably the best location because there is a curve there. And they come up through there and it's dark and they don't see the curve, they have run out in the,
Well, the worst part in that road is that where the road narrows right down there
Yeah.
in the bottom of the hill.
well, that's true too.
It's 10 times worse than that curve, but I ain't saying I'm against the light, I just wanna ask more than Richard before he just gets to have a say so that lights up the world over there.
That's fine.
Can we table it? Is that what it's gonna do?
We'll have to go back and amend the motion,
I'll amend mine, if you would,
okay, and table it till the next council meeting.
yeah.
And you got
Okay.
in charge of.
I may have it settled here in a minute, I'm just trying to
Okay.
find out. I don't wanna get kicked out of Sunday lunch.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Not over a line.
Have you had any accidents there in that curve? I'm just curious. Cause I mean, I guess if a pole's there, I'm thinking.
I haven't received any calls on that. I have received calls where Chad's talking about it, where the road narrows
Yeah.
at the bottom of that hill.
So maybe there might be a better place.
I have fixed the past her fence every Sunday morning from my childhood. From somebody
Maybe
running
have to-
through it.
maybe could do
But
like
that
a
was
little
before
road.
houses was there.
Like a road study or something, or.
So that was your Sunday morning job?
Absolutely. Somebody run through it, we'd go out there, open the gate, Daddy let them out, and I'd have to fix the fence Sunday morning before church.
Okay. Alright, next on here, police department, y'all have anything?
No, sir.
Don't look like there's any old business. New business, in your packets, you're gonna find a sheet talking about telephones. We've got employees using their personal phones for the town business. And if you read what's in there, that's not a good idea. I've talked to Alex a little bit about it. He may wanna inform you a little bit more, but what is bringing to the council is about providing these phones to the employees. The water department, the police department, and Miranda and myself. 90% of my calls is on my cell phone. So the problem comes in if something comes up, then your phone can be taken and kept for whatever, as long as the litigation goes on. Alex, you wanna, I guess you would know better about.
I've dealt with it before, Mayor. We use, employees that use a private phone, town has the right to regulate, what goes on that phone. And certainly anything that would be, proprietary to the town, any official business, has to be, gotta have some kind of security code with it to use it. It's better if the municipality provide them, but then you get into the question of personal use of phones provided by the town. And we need a policy that I can prepare, but usually if the town provides the phones, you know, except get emergency calls or whatever on your, work phone, but you're not supposed to use it for everyday personal use. Another issue about personal phones is that it's subject to, subpoena in the event that some activity that we might be using, and I take pictures on my phone, of course, all the time. I did it in the tire dump case, you know, and then, had it printed, but, so technically my phone could have been subpoenaed if they questioned whatever else that I had taken a picture of. So, it's all, first off, we need a policy one way or the other, but it's really preferred that the town provide phones for town employees that are, where it's needed. Of course, you pointed out to me, I didn't realize that we did not use radio communication for the water department, you know, reaching people out in the trucks. We're apparently using cell phones for everything.
I thought we had radios. Didn't, since I've been here, we talked about radios.
That was just for the police and the fire, different radios.
We used to use radios like a couple of years or so ago, but when they changed over, didn't work right, then we quit using them. And at that time, I guess nobody's interested in furnishing phones. It's been more than a couple of years. But my guys now, they don't have no problem using their own personal phones, you know, if somebody needs to subpoena them or whatnot, okay, they just don't wanna have to tote two phones. Or keep up with two phones.
Try to took 3.
Cause what's gonna happen is you're gonna lose something.
Would it not be better just to do radios for them again? It's gonna be more
Well,
expensive
phones is an option here just sometime soon or pretty quick, through the, what I call radios, they're 800 radios. Same thing we did have. And then we'd have capabilities of putting ours, the office, the police, whatever, where everybody could communicate. I just don't think with those you could probably take pictures or something with them if you had to. I don't think, but I don't know. I use one, I do have one like that with a fire truck, but I'm not that computer savage to, I ain't learned how to use this iPhone yet. But the guys, I mean, if it was an option, the guys was even saying, you know, for what their phones cost, and I don't know what that is, you know, like a monthly fee, and like I said, I didn't even ask them what to do, but like they said, if they got a little bit of a raise or something, they could say that was for phone use, you know, but you have to have that in a policy, is that what it says, but I don't know whether that would work right or not. Like I said, they just trying to get out of touch with their phone. And mine's is town issue, has been for years. But mine's for like, I guess the reason for that is, everything's tied to it for emergency calls, whatever. But then again, I'm not gonna take 2 phones either. Cause I know what would happen to it. But,
You know, as far as employees, I don't, it's not a problem if they're being called out, for example, after work hours, where it's heading is leaving the work phone in the truck or, you know, here and then picking it up when they come into work. If they leave, then there's an emergency, there's nothing, it's not illegal to call them on their personal phone to get them to come into work, you know, and then they can pick up their work phone when they got it. But I get it, it's gonna be a change from what we've been doing either way.
Every class that I go to, just about every clerk, or, you know, they have 2 phones for that reason. Because
Well, what is your suggestion to the council and to me, Alex?
Well, if you got certainly I'd get an estimate on cost, what it's, how many phones it's gonna take and what, be sure the council's comfortable with
We've
the
got
cost.
estimates and everything, because I figured that would be brought up.
Okay. I didn't see the immediate agenda, it may have been that packet, but I didn't get it, printed for me.
So right now, Miranda, does everybody call you on your personal phone?
Mhm.
Do you have an office line?
And just erase my personal phone.
Okay.
So,
What about police? Do you have,
Every store owner, and it doesn't matter if it's 9 o'clock at night and they've locked their keys in their car in Coleman County, they'll call my phone, my personal phone. I mean, that's nothing I could do, I mean, they had to have a phone number, I had to give them something.
going here forward, we can tell people, hey, you know, Monday through Friday, call me at the office, or here is my work cell phone number.
I'd like to have that option if I could get it.
But we, yeah,
I really would.
but we don't wanna carry 2 phones.
I'm having to carry 2 right now anyway, because I have we went to the 800 radios for dispatch. So, I mean, I'm carrying mine and that radio anyway.
We went through something with this, I think it was coaches or whatever, but anyway, you know, nobody wants to carry 2 phones.
I don't wanna carry 3.
But you also don't want something personal showing up on a phone the town's paying for. I don't have a good answer for that, but I'm gonna carry my one phone where I got the rights to. I I'll listen to anything from the employees on,
That's a great point. If you're using your own phone, then it's subject to being reviewed by the town
absolutely,
at any time.
if we paid for it.
That's right.
Well, what's the difference in council members using their phones?
Y'all don't conduct business.
Okay.
The only person that conducts business is the mayor and the council, and then like me, and then Steve.
So why is yours rolled to your cell phone? I guess I'm trying to figure, I mean,
No,
y'all
I-
have an office line.
If I'm not in the office, it can, go to my phone. And that way I can answer it whenever I'm in conferences, classes, meetings, all that stuff. That way I am available.
Mayor, I might suggest that if you could table this till next month. I don't know how crucial.
Yeah, that's
it is.
fine, I mean, yeah.
And I can see what policies are in place, different places, and give the council some options on how to handle it. If the I guess, of course, the council got an estimate, and the company, it's just gonna be what it's gonna cost what it's gonna cost, I guess. It's gonna be $700 a month, probably $1,000 a month, isn't it?
Clarify to me what you said to Monica that conducts business. I mean, you said you, Steve, the mayor, would that mean the water department guys as well?
Yeah, the
or-
water department guys know, as far as like the office contacting them to, go, turn this water, turn this off, turn this one on, hey, there's a leak here, or that type of stuff.
Dispatching.
Dispatch, yeah.
is a big-
But it's not a big issue if they don't care if their personal phones are looked at. Like, I mean, I don't put any naked pictures and stuff like that on my phone, so like, I personally wouldn't care, I'm just being honest. I personally wouldn't care if somebody, got my phone and went through it. I mean, I'm an open book. So I mean, like,
But again, it goes.
I'd probably prefer that rather than carrying 3 phones. I don't know, that's just me.
It's done in a lot of municipalities, especially, for the mayor and the clerk to have 2 phones. To separate personal from business.
But you don't have to have everybody.
No, you don't have to have everybody.
Okay.
And like the water, the water department, there's just gonna be one for the office, that way they can pick up their phone and contact the water guys out in the field on that phone. If it's in the truck, in their pocket, on the roof, whatever, that way they can contact them with that phone without using their cell phone. And that also does put liability back on the employees if they're using their personal phone for, to conduct business. It puts them in liability, because if that business doesn't get conducted, like all of you, and then, that can ensue to a lawsuit. I gave you cash.
I say something, cause I did mention this earlier, but my only concern is, like, I've been here going on 18 years. I'm part of Cleveland. I'm getting message about bills, things like, and I can't control if people are contacting me because I've known them forever. I'm not gonna be rude to people and tell them I'm not gonna help them.
I mean, they've used that
Same way
same
with
number.
with Ken.
Yeah,
What are you gonna do? Say,
Yeah,
I'm not at work, or don't call me?
when they use that
Yeah, all
same
this
number.
Don't
Yeah.
answer, don't answer one
They're
time.
out, the creatures of habit. They're not gonna stop just cause
Yeah,
you're.
I'm not disputing that at all,
Yeah.
but if the town pays for it, they got a right to look at it. Right?
That's correct.
So. And I ain't got no naked pictures on my phone either. Today.
Well,
I'm just, I'm saying everybody needs
Honestly,
to.
it looked like he was up there deleting stuff.
Well, I mean, like, if I'm
That
at
makes
if
sense,
I'm at a
right?
wreck scene and I take a picture for evidence wise for the wreck report with my cell phone, and that gets subpoenaed to court, I mean, they can look at my phone as long as they have a subpoena to look at my phone, whatever.
As long as it's pertaining to whatever they subpoena, not your whole.
Well, it depends on how they write the subpoena too.
That's true.
But the quote for the phones, it was 99 cents per phone, and it was $39.99 for
The service.
the service, and then there was one for $44.99 to have a Wi-Fi hotspot. And the reason why I like for Benny, you know, on his cell phone with all him at the at the park having to take pictures, and then if that ever had to go to court of him having to.
Well, how many would that be?
Well, I mean, that's possible because if you charge somebody with criminal mischief,
Right. Don't need the evidence off his phone.
you know,
$44.99 per.
No, it's $39.99 for 7, and then one of them was $44.99. No, 8, and then we're getting 9, right? Is that what we have? Because I have written down there.
But Alex, you said like if we're out of office
wait.
and the girls call me on my phone to ask me something about work, like that's.
Not,
Cause that happens a lot too, when I'm going to lunch, or I'm out of office, or whatever, so.
yeah, if it's a situation where, I mean, that should be on a work phone, because they're calling you about a work matter. The situation I was talking about was if somebody was calling in, and you make a phone call and say, hey, we need you, then you can come in and get your work phone, carry it out in the field, which is a little different from your situation. I get it, it's gonna be a problem. People, they got in their phone, your number,
Yeah.
and it's,
Yeah, and how are you gonna get these numbers out to people anyway?
yeah,
That's another thing.
You would give them to them, like,
You gotta hand out business
over
cards.
time, yeah.
they put on the website, you put on the website
Yeah.
or something, cause they're public numbers,
Yeah.
and it should be used only for business purposes.
Alex Smith mentioned about maybe tabling, let him come up with something for next month.
Yeah, I'd like to see what other people are doing.
I'll do that.
Okay. Alright, I guess right here, Alex, is where you gonna get involved. This is, I guess, all of this is just gonna be for discussion. First and on new business is the hemp ordinance. They're legalizing hemp now to be able to sell it, and I think Alex has sent over a resolution on that. If you've had time to look at it.
Can you explain to us what hemp is?
Marijuana.
So it's like the
It's
actual.
supposed, yeah, and it's supposed to be a medical grade marijuana.
Okay. And we're not currently selling that in Cleveland?
No,
We're not, okay.
it's just now coming on board, isn't it?
I don't
We
know.
gotta-
I don't
we
know.
gotta
Where are you talking about?
I don't know.
There's a code in this ordinance, 28-12-20. Consumable hemp product means any product that falls under that or that code.
That's about the state code that says what is legal, and what isn't, that's what that reference is. We're trying to finish up our brief on, our reply brief on the tire dump case. Miranda sent me a do list that had all these ordinances on it, which is fine, but, so I did put together a quick ordinance just for everybody's discussion. The one you're looking at, I read an ordinance from Cole that they just passed because of the new law that's just come into effect. It's pretty short and sweet, but it's for discussion only. I put in there that, and it's very common, that there've gotta be so many feet from a church or a school or a daycare. Coleman's had, depending on the business zone they were in, 1,000 feet. But I put, I think 500 in ours just as an example.
Okay, so this is the medicinal, is that what you're saying?
Well, that's what I thought it was supposed to be for these growers, it's supposed to have been medical, is that correct?
Yes.
Alex?
So we're not gonna be like walking through the town and be
I'm visiting states where it's legal, and you just like, it's all over the place.
Well, hemp is certain, you know, if it's, falls under that statute, it is legal, and they could smoke it now in public. Now, was that the thrust of what you wanted, was?
No, because, I know Hayden they've already passed their ordinance. It's just like, it's gonna be controlled under the ABC board, it's just like alcohol.
That's correct.
So they would have to come and, to get a license to sell this.
So-
They'd have to go before the board, and the board would have to, so.
That's correct.
So is it gonna be in vape too? Is that what they're saying too?
No, it's not a vape.
I mean, is it, I don't know.
I don't know how you smoke marijuana, other than I've seen, they said to use a pipe or roll it up, I don't know. So I don't know, you know, I just know that we've gotta get ready, because if it's, you know, state approved, somebody's gonna sell it. So we gotta have an ordinance saying, okay, just, drugstore's the only one that can sell it, or I think that's what Hayden did, they just put the drugstore was the only one that could sell the marijuana.
So, no one has approached the town saying, hey, we want to sell it.
No.
It's just, this is just a.
Getting ready.
It's not legal, we're getting prepared if it were to become legal,
Right.
correct?
It's coming.
Yeah. I know that in
Yeah, they've
Coleman's,
already passed the law.
in Coleman, they had the pharmacy dispensing it, but it is a requirement that they have approval from the state alcohol board, and that's in this draft that I sent over.
Yeah, they have to go before the state out, and then they have to come before your board
That's correct.
too.
And I'm assuming that if it's medicinal and it's sold at the pharmacy, they have to have prescription for it?
There must have been some that are medicinal grade, I guess, there's 2 or 3 levels.
your boat?
The ABC board, alcohol board.
Yeah, it comes under, just like if when y'all go in for somebody wanting alcohol,
But that's the only one they go for, ABC board.
I guess.
I think that is correct, yeah.
And it's,
Well,
the
you can't
states,
let,
any other,
let Chevron and places like that sell it if it's medicinal, cause they gonna come in with a doctor's note.
Well, that, my
Well,
thing,
it's medicinal,
if
they
it
don't be able to
was,
sell it.
this would be my vote anyways, if it was agreed upon, I'm not saying I would agree with it on that, but it almost had to be the drugstore only, prescription,
Yeah,
and
yeah. Or
controlled that
that's all they
medically,
control it.
instead of like
And so,
whoever's up here running the marathon now, that's me.
And they're supposed to have a medical card with the person who purchases it. They're supposed to have a prescription and then also carry a medical card saying they're prescribed, whether it's cancer or
And I would say,
from the doctor.
from the doctor.
But that's different than what this is. That's medical marijuana, this is hemp,
Okay.
which is on a different level, yeah.
and, the second page, D, it says liquor store remains in place licensed by the town of Cleveland as a package store and primary business itself is off-premise and such. So, it just says liquor store, it doesn't say the marathon or, like convenience stores, it just says liquor
So they're
package
selling
store.
at the liquor store too?
Yeah, it just says the liquor store,
I don't like that either.
so the pharmacy or liquor store. B says pharmacy, D says liquor store.
You're gonna get a lot of underage kids trying to get that.
Yep, because ABC, the ABC board is the one that is monitoring all this, and they have to get their license and everything through them. That way, an ABC board can control who's dispensing it. Okay? And then they control who's gonna sell it. And then it goes back on to, like, for us, where it says right here, it has to be deemed, necessary by our town or the ABC, our board, if we will approve them to retail sell.
All right, can we deny selling hemp in the town, Alex?
Because they see on
It's, that's a good question, I guess. I haven't faced that one. It's it's legal to sell it, so I don't think we can. We can regulate it, and you can almost regulate it out of where it's not feasible. If we said, we don't want it within 1,000 feet of the church, that.
That's everywhere.
That's everywhere else.
That was a conversation I had with Deanna today, that almost gets everywhere in Cleveland.
There's a church here, Bob.
Right across from the
I
pharmacy.
think some folks might be surprised what you walk in a service station and buy right
Yeah,
now today.
really.
Brandon's right, they can't even come and apply with us until they've got an ABC board approval, which isn't easy to get. But still, the reason to come here, of course, is that we have the right to check to see if it's within 1,000 feet, if that's what y'all choose, of church or school or daycare. Don't wanna sell it, there might be one spot somewhere in the town.
There's cookies, a little hut.
I don't know.
We're just so small and compact. I mean, they're gonna get it somewhere, they don't necessarily have to get it here.
So again, I think you'd be surprised what you can walk in a service station and buy right now.
I like really fine, it's paid for.
Oh, they got it. You don't know what you're missing?
I know, right?
Been there, ain't it?
It's paid for.
I mean, I don't know if it's legal, what ain't legal, whatever thing, but.
Well, before they passed this more restricted state law, there was out where the new shopping center is in Oneonta, that 7-Eleven there, they had containers lined up behind one of their counters, different levels of THC that was in the hemp, you know, and you could mix and match. I mean, and of course, they proved that illegal. They couldn't do that. It has to be prepackaged and has to have certifications on it. And it all went away. But Chad's right. It was an eye opener. I was asked to go out and take a look at it, what they were doing out there. It's eye opening.
All right, any other discussion on that?
When do we need to have a, vote on this? Are we gonna?
Well, I think we need to give Alex some time to draw
Talk
up.
about the ordinance?
Yeah,
Do we- are we
I can
gonna-
change this, you know, however y'all choose.
Do we need to when do we need to tell you about that?
Well, I mean, y'all, we can do it, I mean, you can discuss it, tonight, vote on it next time, and however, whatever y'all decide, think about it in the interim. I can change it to read that after you voted, go for it.
We just don't want to be behind the 8 ball, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we need to make a decision soon.
I'm
Before we're
I'm
forced to
like
make a decision.
Jason, if we have to, it needs to be restricted to a pharmacy. if we
Medical.
can.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I do also like Alex's suggestion about 1,000 feet from the church,
Yeah, that too.
so.
Well, is
That would be my vote.
Is that the two things you wanna put in there now, for him to work on, is the 1,000 feet, or 1,500, whatever, what do y'all
I would
want?
vote for that now.
And, restricted to the,
Restricted to the pharmacy, yes.
if they so choose to do it, I don't know if they
Right.
can do it, but.
Change it to 1,000 feet, you know. That,
I think pharmacy or 1,000 feet is what. Either one or the other.
You don't think that?
What's our alcohol? 500 feet?
And I mean, it's like, no, we have an open container policy, right, too.
if we don't have a business district, if we had a business district, we would have.
So in other words, if they were doing medicinal, you know, they couldn't be out like on the side of the road,
Taking naked pictures.
you know what I'm saying?
This is better
They're calling me
painter
cell phone.
family guy I've ever been a part of.
I'm just saying.
They can't sit out,
I am so naive.
they can't sit out on the curbs from the police fire. They can't do it.
Even if it's legal.
They can't.
I mean,
Okay, I mean, I just gotta ask.
I can't wait to tell this now what you missed out.
want 1,000 feet and
I'm for both.
Well, would 1,000 feet cover about all our service stations here
Well,
within the town limit?
I think we consider both.
yeah,
Just give it a month's time and just
Okay.
consider it.
okay.
We might come back next month and say something completely different, but.
What are your thoughts, Judge?
If you're doing it just in the drugstore, you're 1,000 feet. And both of them's covered.
Yeah.
Liquor store couldn't do it because they were in that close to the Cowboy Church.
Yeah, they are moving.
Do we have, what's our alcohol ordinance, how far can they be from churches?
500,
500 feet?
Let's just table that altogether.
okay. Have a motion to table. Have a second.
Second.
Alright, Alex, who motioned to table?
Motion.
Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilman Monica Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Alex Faulkner,
Yes.
Mayor Dan Sullivan.
Yes. Okay, the next on the agenda is the RV park ordinance. You know, we're getting an RV park down behind the, multipurpose building. I feel like we're gonna need to have ordinance, you know, some of these RV parks, they can homestead if they want to. So Alex, you wanna?
Yes, sir, that ordinance that you got covers a lot of bases that the council may not want to go into. I didn't know how far to go. But, I did the research and we can restrict the length of time that they rent for. I saw some as short as 90 days would be the max, and you can't move to a new location and restart the clock. It keeps people from technically homesteading. It's interesting, you really can't claim a homestead on an RV if you live in one. You know, for those of us who claim a homestead exemption for our homes, because it's not permanently attached to the ground on which it sits. But what we're trying to, I have a client who, I've had conversations with who works at, the water park in Decatur, I don't know what the name of it is.
Point Mallard.
Point Mallard.
Yeah.
And, long story, I won't go into why she's up there, but she said she works there, and they've got people that have lived there for 14 and 15 years. They can stay 179 days in one spot, move off one day, and if nobody else has reserved that spot, they can move back onto that spot, but they physically have to move their RV off of that spot, for one day. And I know that's what we're designed to prevent, but see, we don't have any zoning, and, a lot of the RV ordinances go into, you gotta have so many acres. I put this one, you gotta have the minimum size is 2 acres. You got, some of the ordinances regulate the size of the, lot that somebody could rent, what they're gonna do about sanitation, public bathrooms. So there's certainly things in there that y'all may wanna strike out.
And we also need to get with him to see what he's got in his,
What his plans are.
you know, what his plans are. And the reason I feel like we do need this is, he may say, well, I'm not gonna let them stay over 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But down the future, something happens, he decides to sell, and the person that comes in there, if we don't have something to say, well, no, you can't do that, then here you go.
Well, I asked Miranda today, and I wanted to be sure that he had not bought a business license, because we don't wanna get in a situation of, grandfathering in, and we can't regulate it. So the ordinances, this is one that we really need to address, certainly by next council meeting.
Do we have?
I just don't know how far the council wants to go in regulating,
Well, being a camper,
I was gonna ask for jumping.
where we're at, where I'm at, you can stay 3 weeks, and you've got to pull off for at least 1 week before you can. Now you can stay 3 weeks, pull off a week, then go back for 3 weeks.
I still think there needs to be a number put on per year. What do you think?
Need a what?
I think you still need a number per year of days you can stay.
Well, I mean, I'm fine with every house.
And
I just
it's-
don't wanna see somebody go down there and
Yeah.
start putting up a porch and an outbuilding
Yeah.
and,
What, is there something in here too, I'm kind of reviewing it, about junk cars too? Like cars up on blocks and stuff like that? I mean, we don't want none of that in.
We've already got that ordinance.
yeah,
Okay.
we do have that, and
Would it need
this
to be
regulates
included
the
in this
number of
too?
vehicles that you can have in conjunction with a,
Okay,
RV space.
okay,
you know, like in ours, you only have 2.
okay.
Anything over that, they're gonna be charging.
So we need to review this and have
Yes.
and have something in mind for the next meeting.
So we wanna table this until we have time to sit down and,
Oh, can we, have like a work session before now the next meeting to kind of discuss it
Yes.
this time?
I think that's a really good idea,
Okay.
since we've got several of these on the table.
you know, the hemp ordinance and this
Yeah.
one.
Chad's available most any time.
We'll work around Chad's schedule.
I'll be,
Okay. This is already stuff.
hemp is important to me.
The next one on the list is, illegal burning ordinances. Steve and I have talked about this, the fire department's beginning to come together and work. So all these other 2, the fire department, enforcement authority, this is, you know, the fire department has come to us about that, and then the police, we pulled the old ordinance we had, and it was very vague. It did have, you can't burn household garbage and stuff like that, but it needed to be updated, you know. And I think you went over it some.
Yeah, so Miranda sent me an ordinance that she had worked on, and I worked from that template. The only thing is, that, and Steve and I talked about this today, we can't regulate beyond our corporate limits.
Right.
Our fire district goes beyond that, but, so this would apply within our corporate limits, and Steve said he'll deal with the fire marshal beyond that. But, and then there was a difference between the fine schedule in the 2 ordinances, and I made them the same. So, otherwise, what Miranda said was good.
Oh, I didn't draw that one up, that was sitting on my desk whenever I got back from, Steve must have got it.
Oh, okay. But
That's been the one that the fire department worked on, was
Okay.
Dave Hackworth.
They did a good job.
So the illegal burning ordinance is good, so we could vote on it since it's on the agenda.
Technically, yeah, you don't have to, I mean, it's an agenda item, of course, it's on the agenda for discussion, but
Oh, okay.
but it's not a revenue ordinance, and you technically could pass it. Might be more appropriate to suspend the rules to do that. And I think the ordinance authorizing the volunteer fire department to be enforcers is also good, because we don't technically have a municipal connection with the fire department because they're voluntary. So I think we need to pass both of them.
Okay, the, fire department enforcement also. Alright, let's,
So how does this, we don't have a current burning ordinance in place now?
we do have an old,
Okay, how is this one different?
and it's just been updated.
It'll be repealed based on this one being passed.
What's the difference in the two? I didn't see the other one.
You remember the difference?
What do we change?
I don't, I like this one because it cites to the ADM regulations, you know, for what's allowed, and what isn't allowed.
That's pretty much road after the state, state regulation, what it is.
Our other one was just
Cause you
very
ain't gonna be able to do any more.
It could,
You know what I'm talking
yeah.
The only question that I have, Steve, is,
I mean, even with our old ordinance,
Really?
we had to go talk to him.
Yeah.
is,
I'm just curious.
But, you know,
well,
they
there, I guess
and
you
they
will
should, it could have been fine.
authorize
But,
certain
you know, just
people
don't do it.
within the volunteer fire department, or just any volunteer fire department?
No, it would be myself or either the assistant chief, which is Dave Hackworth,
Okay.
you know, and more or less, that's gonna fall more on him than it is me.
Do what?
My notes for this meeting are.
I mean, I'll delegate, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Legal weed.
But not just any of them can pull up.
No.
Okay. Getting back to the illegal burning ordinance, do I have a motion to suspend the rules for further consideration? We got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, any other discussion on the illegal burning ordinance?
Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Alex Ball.
I think I say to it on this.
You would know, you just voted.
You can still burn sticks, right? If not, I rescind my vote.
Okay, now then,
Life would be so bad.
do we have a motion to pass the illegal burn ordinance?
Can you clarify just a minute about what we can burn here?
There's an exception.
I mean, they can be burning their tires or not like that.
Exceptions.
Oh, okay, we can do debris,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yard waste, leaf.
yeah, unless there is a no burn,
Yeah.
right, okay. Okay,
Yes,
I'm okay with this,
I motion we accept.
okay, I think that.
Okay.
Alright, Chad did the motion, and Monica did the second. Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilwoman Monica Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Alex Ballmer,
Yes.
Mayor James Sullivan.
Yes. Okay.
Alex, what would be the time frame on that, like say from now, since they passed that, would it be like 30 days, 60 days, something
We just have, once it's posted, then we're good to go. Posted 3 places, then we're good. Immediately.
Alright, do we have a motion to suspend the rules, immediate consideration for the fire department enforcement authority?
So that just means they're gonna enforce this ordinance that we just passed,
Any,
okay.
So moved.
Second.
do we have any discussion?
Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilwoman Monica Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Alex Ballmer,
Yes.
Mayor James Sullivan.
Yes. Okay. Next item on the new business is to vacate Coyote Road, and I'm gonna let Steve, because he was the one that they contacted on vacating.
You just suspended the rules, you didn't adopt the ordinance.
Oh, that's right. Do I hear a motion to adopt the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Okay.
Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilwoman Monica Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Alex Ballmer,
Yes.
James Sullivan.
Yes. Now, Steve was consulted about vacating Coyote Road. And Steve, I'll let you bring them up to date on what,
Okay, Coyote Road, if y'all not familiar with it, it's,
Here's
I don't
the
know
map.
if it's,
I know where it is.
and you package it, but it's between the old laundromat and the old Self-Turn Oil, and it goes, a little dirt road goes up behind, up to Tuscaloosa, well, up to, what's that road's name?
Tuscaloosa.
Camp Road, no, Pike Road.
Pike Road.
Pike Road, goes up to Pike Road. That road was part of that subdivision many years ago when that was adopted to bring all those roads into the city limits or city, whatever. That particular road was never paved because at the time they set up to pave it, the owner at that time told me that the property lines had been moved, the road wasn't in the right place, and all this kind of stuff. So it made me mad, and I told him, I said, well, I tell you what, do, just go back down there and start paving in front of the funeral home, and we'll come back if we got money left and finish it. So we didn't have no money left. So right now, that particular road is not being used, hadn't been used in years, cause it's not travelable, and it's blocked off anyway.
So
Right,
Coyote Road is not being used?
not being used, it's blocked off right now.
There's an Airbnb on that road.
Comes in from Tuscaloosa Pike
Right.
to Pike Road to.
That's how they get to it, okay.
Yes.
Just make sure.
That ain't what we want to close.
Okay.
We just want to close from there to Pike Road. And the reason for that, the people that contacted me is, and I don't know their name, Juan and Amaya
Contreras.
Contreras, there you go. They want to purchase that property right there behind that, it's, if that road can be vacated. Cause they didn't want to purchase that property from, which I guess Adam Thomas owns it now, or, so anyway, they didn't wanna, purchase that property if people's gonna be going up and down through there on the road, for a road. And like I said, it's not being used now, hadn't been in years, cause it's blocked off. But if we do vacate it, and Alex, this is a question for you, we need to retain the utility right of way.
Oh, wow.
That's, water, sewer, and then actually there's gas that comes in from that road that comes down there to Head Drive.
Would there be existing easements for those already?
Yeah, they would be, especially on the sewer, and the water's even on that right of way, but you know what happened to those right of ways back several years ago, they didn't get recorded.
Been through that.
So it's not shown on the maps.
Okay.
But I mean, that, if you do vacate it, that could be, and they're in the understanding of that those utility easements would has to be, we'd have to maintain those.
Don't put no building on top.
Exactly. I don't know what their plans are, or anybody's, they said they was gonna build a house down there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Who owns the land on either side of where the road is now, or where it's laid out to be?
Does Jerry Wayne own all that?
Jerry Wayne owns it on one side, Jerry Wayne Thomas.
Okay.
And then, I guess where it comes off of Head Drive, that would be, Leroy Self, Wesley Self, Travis. They own that particular building, one lot there, but it's got access on the front.
Two ways to vacate a road. One's by, petition that the adjoining property owners all consent to it, and they acquire to the center line of where the road is supposed to be, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's the best way to do it. The other way is that the town can initiate it. And I'm kind of drawing on memory, we've got to get certified notice to all of the property owners. You can't close a road if it landlocks somebody. But, assuming we're not doing that. But the other way is we have to give actual notice to all adjoining property owners. We gotta have a public hearing for any objections, and then the council can do it on its own. So there's two ways to do it.
Well, that's what I told them, I didn't know what, that the council here would have to get with you and see what the procedures would be. I didn't really see a problem with vacating the road, I just didn't know the process about doing it.
If they're gonna consent,
Yes.
then I can look up who they have to sign it exactly the way the property is deeded, titled. But I can prepare and let them come by City Hall and sign it. That's the best way to do it.
Is that agreeable with the council?
You can try that route.
Yeah, whatever, I mean, I'm just bringing before the mayor and council and see what they want to do.
What is the town?
But like I said, we need to retain.
Vacate, it's just that we're going on somebody's request.
Do what?
Well, he's asking what, the benefits of,
The town clerk, it's just particular people requested we vacate it because they wanted to purchase it.
yes.
They wanted to purchase the property that's adjoining it. They didn't want it to be a public road if they purchased this property.
But it's not.
It's doing us no good at all right now, except for we've got a sewer easement and a water line easement up the left side of it. And then the Honeyland Gas is there somewhere.
It's so rough through there, I don't think you can really drive through there.
Oh, no, what you can't.
They're gonna have to make a lot of improvements.
Yeah, it's blocked off. Has been for a good long while. We never acknowledged it being a road and done any maintenance or kept up, doing any upkeep of it. Cause at the time, Tommy Head owned it, and he was the one that said the property lines had been moved and the road had been moved, and he didn't want it paved at that time, but what he was trying to do was move the lines to where he would have more property to build something over here. I said, it don't work that way, So he was trying to, there's a 60-foot right of way through it. I think that's right, 50 or 60. So he was trying to shorten that to where he'd have more room to build something else over.
Okay. Do we have a motion to let Alex draw that up? They come by and sign it, and we go from there.
A motion.
We got a motion. We have a second.
I second.
Okay, any other discussion? Okay.
Councilman Ritchie?
Yes.
Councilman Chad Harris?
Yes.
Councilwoman Monica Moore?
Yes.
Councilman Alex Faulkner?
Yes.
Mayor James Sullivan?
Okay, I got one more item here. It just popped up on my phone.
No, we didn't intend to.
We wanted to see if the town would sponsor the varsity girls a team meal for supper at the state tournament next week.
Got that same text.
You guys.
Well, why didn't you read it then?
I guess there's somebody
I
out
told him to get with his breakfast buddy.
I don't know if it's sponsored, we might can donate for these to get.
We would have to make a donation to the,
Mr. Club?
no,
No.
to Cleveland High School. And then they could do, we can't give to like individual,
Oh, yeah.
but we can
Right,
give it
right.
to the school.
Yep.
We can say, well, we'd like to see this go for a meal when we give it to them, but, that's the way it has to be done. Correct, Alex?
That's correct.
Okay, what's the pleasure of the council?
I'm not sure
I guess we'll have to have, actually say we'll have to come up with an amount, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we'll
before we
figure
go
it out.
on.
Sounds like steak dinner.
That's what, yeah.
I mean, how many are on the team? Like,
Chicken.
we're feeding the coaches and girls and
I'm sure the coaches and the girls, yeah.
So
I would
maybe
say
20
club,
people
but-
total? Maybe,
You may round that or a little more, yeah, just for the coaches and team.
cause you have 12, there's only 6 on the court at a time, so.
Huh?
So there's only 6 girls on the court at a time.
No,
No, there's 9 on
Nine,
out on the
softball.
field.
Softball.
Oh, it's softball, I
Yeah.
thought it was softball, it's volleyball.
No,
The girls make
softball.
mistakes, so.
So, yeah,
That's right.
They're in the
softball.
state tournament.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Gary Armstrong offered
So,
about
yeah,
that.
20, 25.
Mhm.
No, they're not sure.
Yeah, I'd say
More
that,
than that.
I would
5 max is people wise, at the max. That's just me ballparking.
Somebody say something.
Are we doing amounts?
Uh,
Are we doing amounts?
well, we can, you can set it, you can,
I was thinking, that's the number I had in my head. I mean, surely.
you know, we,
Jacks.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all tell me, I don't know.
Where would it be?
they just said
It
feed them
probably
something.
based on what we give them,
Oh,
I
Yeah.
guess, but.
I guess if we, you know, if you set an amount, then they'll say,
And they
okay,
can- we got this much to spend.
we got this much.
We
in
get a lot of pizza for $300.
You get this much.
You get a lot of pizza for
Where's the
$300.
state government at?
Oxford.
They have to stay
Chocolate,
somewhere?
yeah, they're staying, they'll be, I'm sure they'll stay one night at least.
Also,
Oh,
eat
22.
and then go down there.
No, they'll probably
Well,
eat
it's
after
probably
the ball
for,
game.
they'll probably,
We'll feed them there.
And this
yeah, it's
picture,
probably
they
for
remember,
a
I don't know
supper
who's-
that night they stay, they
Wow.
play Wednesday
There's 22
morning,
in this picture with coaches and
Oh,
players.
but they'll stay, they play Wednesday and they'll stay Wednesday night.
So that's what.
I mean, it's that eating.
Yeah, it's calculated.
What's that per person? There's 22
If they
people.
play Wednesday, if they lose, they play first thing Thursday morning, I think, it's
Wait,
the
Thursday,
elimination thing.
We probably only have at least 15 to $20.
So whether they win or lose the first day, I think they still stay.
It's like 5,
He said $500.
go sit down somewhere.
Now it'd be like, that'd be nice.
But we're not gonna get change back now.
No.
It's a donation. Donation.
I would say
Say
500.
5, I would say 5.
They should be able to feed 22 people, pretty good for $500.
Oh, yeah.
We're setting precedent.
Mhm.
Yeah,
If
if
they
they
make
make a
it-
state, we'll
Yeah.
feed them.
That's pretty good. State, that's a pretty big thing.
And that's the second time in the school history in Lake State.
Pretty big deal.
Pretty big deal.
Probably.
We'd probably do it for the football team. We probably did it for the football team.
With a group of 8.
Oh, you paid it?
Okay,
I would do that motion, we do 500 for a meal for us all.
do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Councilman Jason Grigsby,
Yes.
Councilman Chad Pass,
Yes.
Councilwoman Moore,
Yes.
Councilman Al Faulkner,
Yes.
Mayor James Sullivan.
Yes. Okay, you can email him back and say that they can eat for Christmas.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay, general fund and water department, April finances are in your packet. Anybody have any questions on any of that?
I almost forgot to put that out to you. 'Cause I know
Any-
you like that, yeah.
Anything else to come before the council? Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I motion we do.
Second,
I second.
so moved.